Hi, I'm Jalen. Can you sub 10 in 1 or 2 years? I started cubing since November 2016. I got sub 8 average officially within 2 years of cubing. Here I want to share my tips and guidelines and how I practice to get sub 10. Here is the time split for sub 10, for cross 1 to 2, F12 4 to 5, LL 3 to 4 seconds. To sub 10, you have to work on 3 major things, which are efficiency, look ahead, and turning speed. If you have an efficiency solution which has low move count and you turn it very fast without pause, then you will achieve a great time. Here is a series of practice that I use to sub 10. One of them is part by part. It is to improve each stage according to the time split given. The first part is cross. At this stage, you should have the ability to blind solve your cross and solve it under a move. So if you can, go ahead and solve your cross. Repeat for 50 solve. If you can't achieve the time split given, then you should learn tricks for cross, or even the CS timer has a cross solution for each scramble. The next part is F12. Before you time your F12, you should do untimed solve to train your look ahead. You can do untimed solve with slow solve or metronome. Metronome beats at a steady speed and knowing what's your turning speed where you can see improvement obviously. I personally stick to metronome and it seems useful for me. Anyway, it's up to your choice. I will explain more detail into metronome. Alright, because you are practicing F4 now, not the entire cross with F4, so get the scramble of cross solve like so. Right now, for every beat you turn once, here's an example of 120 BPM, which is also 2 TPS. So here we go. After it's done, once you get comfortable with the look ahead of certain speed, increase the speed until it's enough to challenge your look ahead. So here I'll be increase it to 240. Which is also 4 TPS. After it's done, after you do metronome practice, time for your F12 like how you time it cross again, just for cross or scramble like so. F12 is the most important part as it's the key to get faster in 3x3 speed solving. You must put more effort in it. Let's move on to the last stage of 3x3, the last layer. Choose the algorithms that suits your turning style and learn the finger trick. You should execute all your OR in sub 1 and all your PL in sub 1.5. Alright, this is a GD Perm. I already learned the algorithm that suits my turning style and learn the finger trick. What I need to do here is to spam the L until I get my satisfied time. Just like that. For any L that you learn, you can spam them as well. For example, this UB Perm. That. Right, so right now, after you learn this, you can search for the last layer scramble and you scramble it, and you can start doing last layer. The main purpose of part-by-part practice is to learn the tricks for each stage but not to time blindly. You should do more practice like untimed solve F12, finger trick. After these practices, you may do some speed solving LO 50 or 100. Maybe 3 to 5 days once. You can see a big improvement with these practices. Tips to sub 10. Other than watching example solves, You should watch more reconstruction from world-class cubers so that you will know what they actually do in speed solving. From here, you will learn more speed solving trick and skill. Second, you should start to learn how to plan out your cross and first pair or S-cross during inspection. If you manage to plan, you are going to have a great time. Here are two of my official sources that use this skill. Check out reconstructions for them on my YouTube channel. The next tips is rotationless solve. You need to rotate wisely. Some of the cases require rotation, but some don't really require rotation. You should also know which direction to rotate and learn some rotationless F-tool. Here's how to rotate wisely. First of all, you need to know when to rotate, when not to. Usually RU and LU move are easier than doing FU or BU. So we always want to try to keep our solution on the right or on the left. So here's one example of when not to rotate. As you can see here, we got this on the left hand side, which I can solve easily to the back left side, just like that. So I don't need to rotate for that. For this one, same thing. I can solve easily to the front right side, so I don't need to rotate. Here's another example for when you need to rotate. Alright, so as you can see, you got this one. You cannot use the front L like this. It's kind of very weird to execute, and it's hard to execute. So what you need to do here is to rotate to the right hand side, and then you can execute on the right hand side. Again, you got this one. Solving the cube with the front move are harder. So what you need to do here, rotate, keep it on the right side, solve it on the right side. Next, determine which direction you want to rotate. When you get to a case like this, you are required to rotate, but which direction to rotate will be better. For the look ahead of F12, it's easier for you to track like this, because all the pieces are in front of you. You can track this one, track this one, track this one, track this one. If they are not facing you, you only can see these two soft pair, but you can't see anything that you want to track. So we always want to keep the soft pair behind. That allows us to look at easier. Here are two examples. The first one. So as you can see here, you got this pair which require to do rotation, but you need to determine which side to rotate. So here, if you rotate to here, all you have is this one. It's blocking the pair that you want to track next. So we definitely rotate over here, and it allows us to look at easier for the next pair. So once we rotate to here, as we are solving this one, we can keep tracking this one and go forward for it. The next example. Right, so here you have this one. Again, you need to rotate. You need to determine the direction to rotate. So for this one, if you rotate here, everything is blocking you. You can't track the next pair. After you solve it, you're gonna have a pause, and you find the pair is actually behind here. So which means that at this point, we should just rotate over here, solve it to the back, and we can keep tracking this one while we are solving that one. And then go for it. I also recommend you to memorize some rotationless F12. Like this case, most of the people do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rotate. 8, 9, 10. 10 move plus 1 rotation. If you memorize the advanced F12 that sets your rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the back. Just like that. Less move count and don't need to rotate. That's why you want to memorize some. Don't memorize all, just memorize the easy to execute one. Last tips here is to memorize some advanced F12 that are easy to execute. I won't get into more details for this. A lot of tricks can be learned from YouTube. I recommend Perm and CubeSkills. Before I end this video, I want to share another important point, that is how to allocate your time wisely. In speedkeeping journey, people who only spam source but without learning and do proper practices will reach a bottleneck where no improvement is made. Practice is very important when you are learning a new skill. However, if you are a master cuber, above tips are no longer applicable. Bye.